Hey yo, what up, Tight Shirt Terry? Back in the building, and today I would say that the shirt is tight. Hope you're having a good day so far. If this is your first time here, yo, a fat welcome to you. And if you're part of the fam, you're part of the squad, you came back, give me a hug. My arms is wide open. I appreciate you coming back. Good to see your face. Make sure you drop a hashtag fam down below so I know you're here. So in the last video, I unboxed the new 2021 M1 iPad Pro 12.9 inch. And I'll go ahead and leave that up there in case you want to check it out. I unboxed it, did some screen comparisons and things like that. Check that video out after this video. Do not leave off this video to go watch that video. Watch that after. However, just to give you the long and short of it, I'm kind of conflicted. I got a 2020 11 inch right here, which is still a hell of an iPad. And then I got the new one, and it's got some new things that I like. It's got some new things that, you know, I don't really know if they worth the money or not. And one of those things that I know a lot of y'all want to know about is the M1 chip. How much faster is the new 2021 M1 over last year's A12, whatever letter that they used in the iPad Pro? How much faster is it? And is it enough of a difference to where you feel like you should spend your hard-earned stimulus check or paycheck, whatever the case may be, on the new one? So in this video, I got a couple tests lined up. These are not new out the box, so there might be some slight variations. And also, if you're looking for freaking benchmarks, you ain't gonna get it here. I do not give a crap about benchmarks. I care about real world use and how those things affect using these things on a day-to-day basis. So if y'all ready to go ahead and get into it, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, now real quick, I gotta ask before we get into the test, if you like this video so far, what are you doing? Hit the like button. And if you dislike it, hit the dislike button 2 times for me. And if you haven't joined the family, that would be a great time to join the squad. Go ahead and hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell. And I got a free 30-day trial for you for Epidemic Sound. If you like the music in this video and you need some copyright-free music in your life, go ahead and sign up below. And if not, you could just cancel it after 30 days if you don't like it. Okay, now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and start with the boot test. So I'm gonna try to boot these at the exact same time. Hopefully, I'm gonna get it right. 2021 M1 joint, 2020 iPad Pro. Let's see which one wins. Oh, M1 came first. 2020 iPad Pro came right after. It was only about a half a second difference, but it was a difference. Now let's go on to the app launch test. So I got 9 apps all sitting on a separate page by themselves. So I'm gonna try to launch these as simultaneously as possible. I don't know, because my right and my left hand, they don't always work together. But let's go ahead and try it. Let's start with YouTube first. 3, 2, 1, boom. M1 beat it, and don't mind what I've been looking at. We just gonna go ahead and get off of YouTube. All right, next thing, let's start up LumaFusion. 3, 2, 1, boom. M1 beat it again. Not a huge difference, but right now, M1 is chopping bodies. We'll be back at LumaFusion in a second, all right? Let's go to Lightroom. 3, 2, 1, bam! Woo! M1 smoked it. Can't even lie. Let's go to Apple Music. Bam! M1 wins again. Okay, next test. Let's hit F1 Mobile. 3, 2, 1, boom. Neck and neck. Also, while this is loaded, y'all can kind of see the difference between mini LED and LCD. I don't know if you can tell on this camera, but notice how black this one is and how like this one is a dark gray in the black area. So if you want more of that, go back to the video, like I said, that I linked in the description. I went into that more in detail. And F1 got smashed on the 2020 by the M1. That was at least like a 2 to 3 second difference. All right, next, let's go to CNN. 3, 2, 1, boom. M1 smoked it again, and I did not fart. That is the stool I'm sitting on, so my bad about that noise. M1 right now is crushing stuff. Let's go to Apple Keynote. Boom. M1 wins again. Now, so far, you can see that the M1 is marginally faster. I mean, like very, very slightly. It's not like the 2020 is slow by any means. You're talking about a half a second. Is that a big deal? I don't know. It might be to you, but it's not to me. Next, let's do Apple TV. 3, 2, 1, boom. M1 wins again. And lastly, let's go to Apple Store. Bam. Yeah. The M1 slaughtered the 2021 in every single app test, open test, which, I mean, it's no surprise, right? We know that the M1 is faster, but I don't think it is a ton faster when it comes to like day-to-day usage. I don't think y'all gonna notice a difference, being honest with you. Not worth no extra $400-500 that you need to go with the 12.9 inch, but neither here nor there. I digress. So moving on to the next test, all right? I got a Samsung T7 right here with a Thunderbolt cable and also a 2020 iPad Pro, which is USB-C, and a 2021. I preloaded like a 3.5 gigabyte file on the T7. I might need to go get my phone to get the stopwatch out, because y'all know iPad OS don't let you know how much time you got left on the transfer. But let's see how much faster Thunderbolt is versus USB-C on the 2020 iPad Pro. Let me grab my phone. Go to File Manager. Okay, so I got my test folder right here. Let me tap and hold on that. Let's go move, and then let's move this to on my iPad. We'll hit copy. So we'll start this in 3, 2, 1, boom. We pay all this money and can't even get a friggin' progress wheel to let us know how much longer we got on the friggin' transfer. But still going. Okay, so that was about like 28 seconds, let's just say. I might have missed it by like a split second. Now let's go over here and do the same thing with the M1. Now remember, we had about 27-ish, 28 seconds over here on the 2020 iPad Pro. Let me reset this. I need to clean my freaking phone screen off. This is gross. There it is. So Samsung T7, and then let me start this in 3, 2, 1, bam. 10 seconds. Now remember, we gotta be, oh! Hey, that was 18 seconds. So that was a 10-second difference, yo. The M1 iPad was able to transfer a 3.5 gigabyte file off of a Samsung T7 in about 18 seconds, whereas the 2020 iPad Pro, using only USB-C, took about 28 seconds. So that might be something you wanna consider. I mean, we know that Thunderbolt is faster than regular USB-C, but hey, that's something that you got to consider if you're going to be transferring files back and forth, especially if you're in the video editing and stuff like that. Thunderbolt is much, much faster than USB-C. Now, the last freaking test, okay? Let me go ahead and unplug this. Now, I have the same project copied in LumaFusion on both of these iPads. Now, this footage is out of the Sony a7S III, right? I didn't edit these at all. I just took a whole bunch of clips, dropped them on the timeline. Now these are 4K, 422, 10-bit, 120 frames per second. All of the clips slowed down 20%. Now to make this even more freaking interesting, instead of just having it export one track, I actually put some more clips on top at the same locations and ran them at a 50% opacity. I put 3 separate timelines onto this project. So we're gonna export this in 4K Extreme to our camera roll. Again, this is not edited whatsoever as far as color grading, just a bunch of clips that are slapped on in the exact same places, the most demanding footage that I can get access to. We're gonna see which one of these can export freaking faster. So let's go ahead and hit movie, photos. Everything is the same, 3840 by 2160, 4K, 23.98 frames per second, 150 megabits per second, audio quality 48 kilohertz, 265. Okay, so this one for some reason says that the export duration 4 minutes 45 seconds and like a tenth of a second. This one says 4 minutes and 45 seconds flat, and for whatever reason the space needed on this one is 4.05 gigabytes. The space needed on this one is 4.04 gigabytes. So whatever, let's go ahead and see what happens. 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, so they're both writing. I don't know what's going on right now, but it is getting smoked by the 2020 iPad Pro. This is wild. I wonder what this could be about. Like, what? How is this even possible? Like, the M1 has a much higher clock speed. It's just way more powerful, period, and it's getting smoked by the 2020 iPad Pro. What is going on? Also, I didn't close any apps. I intentionally left all of these apps open because I wanted to see which one would go beast mode. And so far, I don't know how. This is Man, maybe it'll catch it. I don't know. That's crazy. Like, it wasn't even close. We gotta run this back. Like, I'm not buying it. So to make this even more challenging, because I just can't, like, this had to be an anomaly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close out LumaFusion. Then I'm gonna open up YouTube and run it in split screen and then re-export this to see what happens. I don't know if there's any, like, something going on with rendering. Both of these have had plenty of time to render these files, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Let's go ahead and open up YouTube. Let's click on my bro C-Kid Tech's newest video. And then we're gonna run this in split screen. So let's go ahead and open up LumaFusion over here, and then LumaFusion over here. I'm about to re-export these to the camera roll. So same settings, we're gonna double check the settings. Everything is the same. Boom. By the way, if you ain't checked out my bro C-Kid Tech's channel, you definitely need to do that right now. My guy raps about tech in the dopest way possible. So, yo, if y'all haven't checked him out, hit him up, C-Kid, tell him Terry Warfield sent you. I'll be sure to put a link to his channel down in the comments. Now, as far as progress goes, it looks like these are again neck and neck. I would expect in this case, and I said the same thing last test that got proven wrong, but I would expect in this case, because the M1 has just more powerful cores and everything, that something multi-threaded like this, running YouTube and exporting a 4K freaking video, the M1 should pull ahead. I don't really know what happened. It could be that the 2021 iPad Pro needs a restart, but it shouldn't. You know, I haven't done anything but launch 9 apps on it, whereas I did the same thing on this one. So, like, I don't understand how the A12Z, I think, is smoking the M1. Only explanation I could possibly have is maybe LumaFusion isn't, I don't know, maybe it's not fully optimized for M1 versus the A12Z. I don't know, I'm just throwing stuff out there. I mean, it's the same type of architecture, so I don't know why one would have an advantage over the other, especially the old one having an advantage over the new one. And LumaFusion is basically the biggest player for video production software, so I would also think that LumaFusion would be updated for M1. And again, I could be wrong, that's just total theory. Maybe the first test was a fluke, I don't know. But I think what this test proves is that even on an intense timeline like this one, no, I don't have graphics and stuff like that, but 3 4K 422 10-bit clips at different opacities all stacked on top of each other is pretty demanding on any machine, and I intentionally did not like put the same clips on top of each other. Coming down to the finish line, can the M1 beat out the A12Z? Okay, that time the M1 got it, but only by like, oh my god, that had to be like 0.2 of a second. Nothing noticeable. I don't know. Like, I'm not about to run this test again, but all I know is on a single process, exporting from the 2020 iPad Pro, it smoked the M1. Now, with the M1 chip, while we exported and ran YouTube, it pulled ahead by just a tiny hair, but the 2021 kept up. Like, it was like neck and freaking neck. So I don't know if these tests help you out or not. I mean, it's pretty conclusive to say that the M1 is faster than the A12Z in the 2020 version, but not by much, not by what you might think. At least in iPad OS 14. I think for us to really be able to see the advantage that M1 can have over the A12 series chips, we need a full freaking operating system, Apple. So whatever y'all doing with iPad OS 15, y'all need to hurry up and freaking bring it so that we can know the difference. So anyways, I hope this video was helpful to you. I don't know if this helped you make a decision either way. To me, it made the decision even more difficult to make. Until next time, I'm out. Piece of chicken grease, Terry Warfield. Peace.